So I was gonna call this video Nick Anderson called me the fuck out, but that seemed a tad dramatic. This is the first time I've ever vlogged, and I'm in public. Woo! Anyway, so I'm going to see the Rex and New Politics in like 2 hours, and I'm filming an intro thing because I made a thing for the Rex, and I'm gonna try to give it to them, and then I won't have it later when I make the rest of the video. So they have a song called Favorite Liar. I don't know if you can see this. They have a song called Favorite Liar, and it's like, it's a lyre, like the musical instrument from like ancient Greece. So if I meet them afterwards, I'm going to give it to them, and I hope they like it. And yeah, it's gonna be fun, because I actually bought the tickets because of the Rex, not because of New Politics. Because I listened to New Politics like twice in like 2015. So, but yeah, I really like their new album. I really like the Rex's new EP. And I haven't listened to Dreamers at all, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna learn some new stuff.
Yeah, we're feeling tonight. Right now we're crying. falling with the leaves. Bring us each one from all the cherry trees. Sing so soft, she's falling with the leaves.
say goodbye to this old and broken town where we fell in love. Dead in streets became a drug hell. Our voices like a prison cell, but now we shout it from the rooftop. We are the kids that you never love. We are the ones that will never grow up. Kids from the West End. We are the voice that you never heard. We are the fire you never heard. We're some kids from the West End. Say goodbye. Everybody needs a place to call their home. Everybody needs someone to call their own. Even when you're lonely, no, you're not alone. You're one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Oh, is this your starring role or just a cameo? Who are you living for, living for, living? Oh, when you can't take no more, 'cause when it rains it pours. What are you living for, living for, living? I don't got much, but I got heart and soul. I found myself through all the highs and lows. Oh, will you drown in the pain or go dance in the rain? What are you living for, living for, living? Just like you, like me, like every Somebody New York. When it gets loud, I turn it up. I'm shaking like a blackout. When it's too hot, I light it up. When it gets dark, I shake it up. It's so sweet that I like it Let's hit rewind, go back to when I was out of my head. Before the sinking, I'll redefine the ways that I look at myself, see potential, define it. I will now wait for the skies to fall, wait for the matches to cry. And I will not wait just to lose it all. I'm dying to outlive the lies. Tensions are rising. How much can I take? Tensing my muscles, afraid I will break. The damage is done. I'm left with a choice. Live with the pain or live without no voice. I'm lifted. I'm lifted. Now let me hear you louder. So put your hands up. You tell me to what you want from me. You tell me to everybody else alone. It's one of the things some people that think they're normal. You don't see the it's not about the salary, it's all about reality. And make some noise, making a story, make sure the script stays on. Because when he comes down, time's bringing it up. Yeah, let me hear everybody.
Okay, so the first band that went on was called Park Wild, and I feel like I've said the band name out loud like 8 million times in the past 3 days. It's Friday. The concert was on Tuesday. But yeah, they were really good. I was shook. And I also said that 8 million times. But they played a song I don't know the name of that's not on Spotify. And then Too Late, which I think they released in like January or December. And then Will Never Change, which came out more recently. And then they did a cover of Royals by Lorde, which I got an audio recording of, but not a video, and I'm mad, and it was super good. The Recs were on next, and they were super good, which I kind of expected. Like, I love them. They're great. They got some great songs. James Dean was great. Way with Words was great. Favorite Liar was great. The other songs that they played were all great, and I don't remember because I don't have the set list on me. Panic Vertigo was great. I love Panic Vertigo. And something weird that happened was when they started playing Way with Words, in my brain I was like, oh, they're playing Favorite Liar. So they were like singing Way with Words up on the stage, and I was singing along, and in my head I was like, yes, I'm singing along to Favorite Liar, but like I was singing the correct words for Way with Words. I don't know, maybe I'm just a dumbass. Okay, so I don't really have that much to say about Dreamers, except I was positively surprised, because again, I did no research on them. I had no idea what any of their songs sounded like. But it was like fairly like indie, grungy, rock type stuff, like kind of like the Recs. But like more like The Neighborhood, I feel like. I don't listen to The Neighborhood, don't listen to me. But after, I was talking to this girl who had come from like the Netherlands to see this show, but then there was like this big gap. It was like 20 minutes, half an hour between Dreamers and New Politics going on to perform, and I was like, you know what, I can wait until after New Politics like finishes to go meet the Recs and Park Wild, because they were like they'd both said they were going to be off to the side, like by the merch table, and that we could meet them. So then I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait till after the show. I'm sure they didn't mean before New Politics is set when they said they were going to be able to be at the merch table after the show. So I thought, like, the Recs were gonna be, like, backstage until after New Politics finish, but then I look over at the merch table, and I see this much of Nick Anderson's face, and then the rest is, like, I mean, it was more like this much, but, like, enough to, like, recognize him, and then the rest was, like, there was, like, somebody taller, like, in front of him, but I was like, that's Nick Anderson, he is over there right now. So then I was like, do I want to, like, risk my spot for New Politics? Do I want to risk that? And then I decided, yeah, I do want to risk that. So then I went over, I, like, pushed my way out, and then, so Nick was, like, at the end of the merch table, and then the guy from Park Wild was there. And I was, like, trying to get to talk to Nick to, like, give him the thing that I made, that I showed in the intro. But he was actually, like, selling the merch, so he was talking to a lot of people. So then I was like, hey, the guy from Park Wild is here. I should, like, tell him how much he had me shook. So we started talking, and I was just like, hey, like, you're a great vocalist, like... And he was, like, very nice, very, like... He thanked me, and he was like, oh, by the way, my name's Austin, and I was like, hey, I know another band with a lead singer named Austin. And he was like, and he like didn't know what I was talking about, so I was like, oh yeah, they're called water parks and like they're pretty cool. So after I talked to Austin from Park Wild, I went over to Nick and I was like, hey, can I get a photo? And he was like, yeah, sure, like. And then, so I gave the phone to my dad. My dad took the photo, but it was like dark. So I was like, let me take the photo. But I was like shaking. I was like, I don't even know why I was shaking so much. I was shaking a lot. So I took a photo and then I didn't like it. So I like tried to take another one and Nick's like, you know, I mean, I'm sure he wasn't being like, trying to be like condescending. But he was like, I can take the photo if you want. My hands are less shaky. And I felt so called out. I was like, I was embarrassed. But it was fine. We got the photo. And then I gave him the thing. I took it and I was like, I just want to present to you the best and worst piece of art that I've ever made in my life. And he took it, and I had to, like, explain it, because, like, Favorite Liars, like, I knew it was a stupid pun, but it's a really stupid pun. So then he was like, oh, thank you, and it was really nice, and he said he was gonna, like, put it up on the bus. And then, yeah, so then I was actually able to, like, go back and get back to my spot for when New Politics came on, which that was good, because I, like, didn't want to lose my spot. I was in a really nice spot. So I got back to my spot just as New Politics was coming on, and they started playing Istanbul, which might be my favorite song from Lost in Translation, besides, like, Clouds. I really like Clouds. But, so they started playing Istanbul, and, like, I've been saying for weeks, like, as soon as I hear Istanbul live, I'm going to combust. I'm just going to light on fire. And that definitely happened, like, in my soul. It was a great time. But then David starts, like, I got a video of this, I'm gonna put the video of this in. But, like, halfway through the song, he, like, basically, like, goes over the barricade, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna crowd surf, people are gonna, like, carry him. But I'm sure this is, like, a normal thing that people do, and I just haven't been to, like, that many concerts. But he was, like, standing in people's arms. Like, people were, like, holding his feet like this. And then he was like, hey, everybody, clap and jump, while people are still holding him. Which, like, seems like a stupid thing to say when some of the people that you're telling to clap and jump are literally holding your feet in their arms. But he didn't die. And then he was, like, here, and I was, like, here, so I got, like, a really good angle. But then he, like, started crowd surfing, and he started crowd surfing this way. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna catch him. And he didn't, like, fall. Like, other people caught him, but I, like, reached my arm out and, like, pretend this is his arm. I just kind of ended up doing, like, this. And, like, I'm sure it wasn't weird. Like, that's what happens when you crowd surf, but, like, it felt weird for me. And, yeah, but Istanbul, great song, 10 out of 10 recommend. I can't imagine why you would possibly be watching this vlog if you haven't listened to Istanbul yet, but if you haven't, go listen to Istanbul. It's a great song. And it's great live. Go, I don't even know if they're still on tour, but if they're still on tour, go see this song performed live. And then, no, 2 songs after. First, I think they did Everywhere I Go, and then they did Girl Crush, which I have a lot of feelings about Girl Crush, because, like, as a lesbian, the concept of the song makes me really uncomfortable. Like, that's not, like, I'm sorry that a lesbian, like, didn't want to be in a relationship with you, but, like, it's weird. It's like, don't write songs about that. There's so many songs about that. But at the same time, I've I literally, like, came home and I was, like, the whole next day I was listening to Girl Crush on repeat because I like the way it sounds. But I have to, like, ignore the lyrics. So then, those were the two songs I had, like, specific feelings about. But, some other songs, I mean, all the songs were good. Like, it's a great show. Like, David's dancing blew my fucking mind. But, I think Madeline was really good. Madeline was funny because, like, instead of starting it the way the studio version starts with, like, you gotta know what you want, girl. You gotta know what you want in life. Which is, like, my favorite line. I love that line. Soren does this, like, piano thing, so people are just like, oh, he's, like, doing, and it's, like, it sounds, like, really classical, but, like, if you haven't seen a live video of the song, like, which I think a lot of people hadn't, so everyone was like, what's he doing? And then he starts playing Madeline, and the piano was, like, so, the piano he played it on looked like it had been thrown out a window. It was magnificent. It was, like, it looked like it had been locked up in a bunker overnight with a werewolf. It was, like, all scratched up. Like, it was so cool. And so that was good. One of Us was good. Lifted was good. Harlem was good. Now, let's talk about what I've been thinking about a lot. Which is, why the fuck did I take so many photos of Louis Vecchio? Because he was, like, smiling, and it was, like, weird, because, like, he has a nice smile, but it's also, like, a weird smile. It's, like, the version of the smile, if you've ever, like, awkwardly passed a white person on the street and, like, made eye contact with them when they're, like, which I do a lot, it was, like, that smile, but with teeth, so it was, like, and he was just, like, looking out at the crowd, like, between songs. Okay, so I don't want to, like, hate on Louis Vecchio or anything. Like, I took photos of him because I think he's cute and I want to look like that when I am a grown-up. After the concert, and I was walking back by the merch table because I was like, hey, I really want a poster of the Rex, and hey, I really want a copy of Panic Vertigo that is also autographed. And so I went back to the merch table, but on my way to the merch table, I saw another guy from the Rex, and this is the person I met. So then I went up to him, and I, like, asked for a photo. I was like, hey, the concert was really good, and I was like, oh, by the way, I made you guys a thing that I gave to Nick Anderson. You should, like, ask him about it, because, like, I want the whole band to see it. And he was like, oh, thanks, like, I'm sure I'll see it. Thanks for making it. Okay, so I really have to go now. This video is gonna be, like, so long. But I'm gonna put my social media, follow me on social media. And then, I don't know if I'm going to vlog ever again, but I might. So, stay tuned for that. Subscribe, perhaps.
Hey, we're Park Wild. We're so happy to be here at Irving Plaza opening up for New Politics with Dreamers in the Rex.